This validates our action as a government when we insist that the African Continental Free Trade Agreement must not only promote free trade, but legal trade of quality made in Africa goods and services.
President Muhammadu Buhari receives members of the Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce, tasked them on the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Another success story for multinational joint task force as 7 Boko Haram key commanders succumbed to their gallantry. Governor Central Bank of Nigeria meets Nigerian Governors Forum, says bank is set to fund development of states through agricultural development. Plus, Progressives Governors Forum develops templates to fast-track good governance and development in the country. Hello, good evening. It's a pleasure to have you join us on NTA Network News tonight, live in Abuja. I am Jumwe Yusuf. Jennifer Igwe is in Lagos and Naomi Apogo is in Maiduguri. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the presidency. President Muhammadu Buhari has challenged the newly appointed head of service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Esan, to bring her experience to bear on the civil service as engine of growth to successfully drive the next level agenda of his administration. This was when he granted audience to the new appointee. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
Accompanied to the State House by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the acting head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Esong, is meeting President Muhammadu Buhari for the first time since her appointment. The familiarity engagement between the President and the acting head of the Civil Service lasted less than 30 minutes, but details of the discussions were not made public. Efforts made by NTA News to hear from the new presidential appointee, Dr. Yemi Esong, were unsuccessful. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who brought her to the President, becomes our only option.
Mr. President has just appointed an acting head of service in the last 48 hours. And it is just expedient and important that I bring her so that Mr. President will see her in person, get to know her, knowing fully well that she is even the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, of which Mr. President is the minister. So it was just a coincidence, but I believe it was important that she came to see him.
So what did the President tell her?
Well, generally, what you would expect at this moment is for the President to ask her to take up her responsibility with all diligence and exhibit a lot of commitment and hard work to take the Federal Civil Service to the next level.
Dr. Folashade Yemi Esong has already taken over from the former head of the Civil Service, Winifred Oyoita, ordered by the President to proceed on indefinite leave. She is being investigated on allegations of wrongdoing by the EFCC. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has described the implementation of the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement as a new frontier for Nigerian businesses. He, however, said the country must not fail to get it right in safeguarding the interests of various sectors of the nation's economy. The president stated this while granting audience to the executive members of the Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce, NYSC, and the organized private sector during a courtesy visit. Again, Adamu Sambo has the details.
Trade is central to Nigeria's economy.
This, President Muhammadu Buhari said, informed the signing of the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement by Nigeria, for which the National Action Committee on its implementation will soon be finalized. A critical success factor, he however said, is the adherence to law and ethics by all stakeholders.
Unfortunately, in recent times, many traders simply do not play by the rules. Our markets are flooded with smuggled and counterfeit goods. By these selfish practices, we help keep foreign factories working while closing ours. From medicines to electronics to food items, our potential to manufacture and create jobs locally is severely hindered by a handful of Nigerians who choose profits over patriotism.
The president said instances abound regarding the dangerous and sometimes fatal impact of drugs and foods on the citizens, as well as lives and property destroyed by fires as a result of fake electrical items. Most of these substandard and illegal products, he laments, are smuggled in through the nation's land borders, hence the decision of government to close the borders for a limited time following the failure of diplomacy and aggressive oversight to yield desired results.
Within a few short weeks, we are already seeing a decline in the volumes of counterfeit smuggled goods in some of our major markets across the country. This validates our action as a government when we insist that the African Continental Free Trade Agreement must not only promote free trade, but legal trade of quality made in Africa goods and services.
President Buhari therefore solicited the support of the business community to make patriotic contributions towards bringing to an end the dumping of substandard items in the region so as to achieve a free trade area that employs Africans to produce quality made in Africa products. President, Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce and Industries, NYSC, and the organized private sector, Hajia Saratu Aliyu, commended the recent decision by the president to constitute a new economic team to steer the Nigerian economy on the path of sustainable growth.
NYSC, FEWASI, and indeed the organized private sector in Nigeria are full of hope that a new era is on the horizon, with the caliber of people on the team, which reassures us at the organized private sector that government is ready to turn around the story of Nigeria.
She used the opportunity to applaud the significant accomplishments recorded in all sectors of the economy, including reduced corruption, foreign exchange stability, bottom of the pyramid programs, increased ease of doing business, as well as capital expenditure. Hajia Saratu, who decorated the president as the grand patron of the association, briefed the Nigerian leader on the 21-point NYSC programs tagged Unleash the Giant. The association, she said, intends to engage the federal government on 16 of those points with the goal of ensuring business growth and socio-economic advancement through public-private sector collaboration. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The presidency has expressed disappointment in the UN Rapporteur report on violence in Nigeria, which was silent on intergroup violence. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says while the federal government agrees that the violence in Nigeria or in any country is a major concern with its attendant crippling effect, the report scratches the surface of the subject, then ended up blaming the government under the able leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. And so, the UN representative needs to be truthful in handling the assignment. The statement states that in Benue, Taraba, Cross River State, and many parts of the country, most of the casualties result from intergroup, and community violence. Many of the displaced persons across the nation are also victims of these conflicts. There is absolutely no doubt that violence between farmers and herders, which has a long history in our country, spiked up in recent years, but the effectiveness with which the federal and state authorities responded made a big difference. Calm has virtually returned to all parts affected by the peculiar violence. The statement further expressed disappointment that the rapporteur did not address intra-ethnic conflicts and cattle rustling as key elements in farmer-herder conflicts. In Benue State, for instance, the Tiv-Jukun conflict and kidnapping is a major problem. The federal government is glad that local communities have fully realized this, and scholars with a strong motivation for peace and stability in their communities and the nation are trying hard to address the problem. Away from the presidency to security matters. The consultative meeting with security chiefs convened by the Speaker House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila, towards finding ways of improving the security situation across the country has been shifted to Monday next week. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The meeting fixed for Friday by the leadership of the House was to enable the House of Representatives obtain details of current efforts on combating security challenge being witnessed in parts of the country. The Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, Director General, Department of State Security, Ibrahim Bichi, and Comptroller of Nigeria Immigration, Muhammad Babandede, were the three that personally appeared for the meeting, while Defense, Army, Air Force, Navy, and Customs sent representatives.
We wanted to hear from the service chiefs to know what was going on, how the house can help, what are the problems, what are the challenges, to talk about strategy, to talk about what we need to do. I'm sure you didn't expect the house to fold its arms while what is going on in Maiduguri and other parts is going on.
The meeting, according to the Speaker, requires the presence of all the security chiefs, which was why he postponed it to Monday next week. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The multinational Joint Task Force and the Nigerian Armed Forces have killed 7 Boko Haram key commanders. A statement by the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sagir Musa, indicates that the commanders were killed by combined efforts of artillery and air bombardments on Boko Haram ISWAP hideouts at the Lake Chad region. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Burate, commended the troops for their efforts and enjoined them to sustain the tempo. Still stuck in security as the disarmament phase of the ongoing peace initiative of Zamfara state government progresses, repentant bandits and members of the outlawed vigilante have surrendered 259 assorted weapons to the peace committee. Zamfara State Commissioner of Police Osman Nagogo paraded the rifles for newsmen at the police headquarters. Gusau Haliru Muhammad Umar reports.
People of Zamfara State have within the past 3 months been enjoying relative peace following the success of the ongoing peace initiative of the state government. The peace process, which involves dialogue and reconciliation between the bandits and members of the outlawed vigilante NYSC, recently entered the disarmament phase with a view to consolidating on the feat so far achieved in the efforts to restore lasting peace to the state. Zamfara State Commissioner of Police Usman Nagogo says between 25th July and 5th September 2019, the repentant bandits and members of the outlawed vigilante have surrendered a total of 249 assorted weapons to the peace committee. The weapons include 41 AK-47 rifles, 2 light machine guns, 1 general purpose machine gun, 2 FN rifles, and 200 Dane guns, among others.
The number of the guns surrendered is also just the beginning of what is expected as this disarmament process progresses.
Meanwhile, CP Nagogo affirmed that the fight against banditry and other related crimes will not divert the security agencies' attention from other criminal activities being perpetrated in the cities and towns across Zamfara State. To this end, the Commissioner of Police has flagged off a joint security patrol between the police, military, DSS, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. In Gusau, Haliru Muhammad Umar, NTA News.
Away from security to other matters, one of the major reforms that the 9th National Assembly has harped on is the returning of the budget cycle to the January to December lifespan. This decision, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan says there is no going back. He was speaking shortly after he returned from a private foreign trip, during which he also announced that the Senate will deliberate on the incident of xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in South Africa.
We are hopeful and very optimistic and very hungry and thirsty to receive the 2020 appropriation bill from Mr. President. I'm aware that the executive arm of government is working assiduously to ensure that the appropriation bill for 2020 is presented to the National Assembly at the end of this month. The National Assembly will work so hard to ensure that we are able to pass the budget 2020 before we go on Christmas break, by the grace of God. I have been informed that the executive has sent the request for the MTF to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and I'm sure that will be the first thing that we will do by the grace of God. And I'm happy that after the xenophobic crisis, the federal government of Nigeria was able to take a very definite position. But going forward, we need to be much more resolute.
Senator Ahmed Lawan, however, implored Nigerians abroad to conduct themselves in line with laws of their host countries. Now, talking economy, as World Bank report indicates that for Nigeria to achieve rapid poverty reduction in 10 years, there is need to scale up activities under its social safety net program. Benny Adams was at the launch of the African Social Safety Nets report by the World Bank in Abuja.
Just imagine a better scenario of life in Nigeria, like the one where 100 million live above the globally accepted poverty line. The target by the federal government is to achieve exactly that within a time frame of 10 years. The tool being deployed is the Social Investment Program launched in 2016. This year alone, about 1.24 trillion naira is captured in the budget for the social intervention projects. A yearly budget of 500 billion naira is also to be spent on empowerment initiatives, including government conditional cash transfer, the homegrown school feeding program, the Empower, as well as the enterprise and empowerment programs known as Market Money. Though impressive so far, the World Bank believes more should be done. A report on social safety nets in Africa puts Nigeria behind countries like Kenya, Senegal, and South Africa. These countries spend an average 1.2% of their GDP on social safety nets against Nigeria's 0.3%.
It's not just the social protection program, investment program that is the social programs in this country. We've always had pensions. We've always had health insurance. We've always had disability insurance programs and several other programs that other countries put together beyond the 0.3% of the GDP that has been reported today.
As a solid foundation, the path is clear, the political will is there, and the vision is also clear.
The launch of the report, titled Realizing the Full Potential of Social Safety Nets in Africa, is expected to expand knowledge and sustain ongoing efforts. Benny Adams, NTA News.
You're on to Network News at 9 on NTA Network. It's time now for a break. More news when we return. Don't go away.
I should be on golden accessories. I shall too bad.
Mommy, it's not too early to be dressed.
Too early, get. Sure. I don't dance eyeball since now.
Okay.
You think I go miss all the small shop? I don't do rishi.
Mommy.
Should be not that take a caterer when they come out, they get side mirror you take. And as for my women group, hey, not KSA or nothing at all. Hey.
Now when you get mouth.
You're familiar, Jerry. My picking.
Mommy, your credit still there, so?
Of course now. Now we the first credit like water. You not trust Glow?
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
You want to know where the party they shall let? Not here.
Glow Unlimited.
Bayes University is a fully licensed university operating since 2011 and has grown to have 32 accredited programs in 6 faculties. This includes computer and applied sciences, management and social sciences, engineering, environmental sciences, law, and basic medical sciences. The university also offers postgraduate programs and foundation courses in a conducive learning environment with modern teaching facilities and high-quality national and international staff. Bayes University graduates have either progressed into respectable career positions or have obtained postgraduate degrees from different parts of the world with distinctions. Call or visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the Atlantic Ocean, inland waters and beyond, activities of some unpatriotic Nigerians and criminals are, however, harming Nigeria and Nigerians. Say no to crude oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and illegal oil refineries. These criminal acts destroy the environment, kill maritime life, destroy the livelihood of farmers, fishermen, and reduce Nigeria's economy by billions of naira. Nigerian Navy patrols are working round the clock to secure Nigeria's maritime integrity. Support the Navy and say no to acts that destroy our collective resources. Stop these criminal acts. Blow the whistle. The long arm of the law will surely catch up with culprits. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Navy. Onward together.
Hello?
Hello, Kenny.
You feel make 10 tops by this time next week? Sharp.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But
Okay, talk later.
you won't get money now.
Hurry up!
My pikin, how you doing?
Papa, I say make I remind you about that loan.
Loan, I beg.
Hello, Papa?
Your move.
Hello, sister of life. I won't remind you of that loan. Wait. Hello?
The number cannot be reached now.
Hello, Oga. Your clothes already.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow your business? Here's good news. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria, financing sustainable growth.
Thanks for rejoining us and still talking the economy. The 269th meeting of the Central Bank of Nigeria Monetary Policy Committee ended with a retention of most of the basic financial parameters. This is to ensure a continuous downward trajectory of the inflation figures. Chimobi Walter Naji reports.
The 269th meeting of the Central Bank of Nigeria Monetary Policy Committee rose from the meeting retaining the monetary policy ratio at 13.5%, asymmetric corridor at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points. The CRR was retained at 22.5%, while liquidity ratio at 30%. The Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, also commended the efforts of the federal government to increase value-added tax from 5% to 7.5%, stating that this will improve revenue for government. The governor also used the opportunity to clear the air on this issue of the implementation of deposit charges on bank deposits above 500,000 naira for individual accounts and 3 million naira for corporate accounts, saying the policy is in line with government cashless policy initiative and will be implemented nationwide on the 31st of March 2020.
The MPC also noted the government's current drive to increase value-added tax, adding that this will improve fiscal revenue to support expenditure and reduce the budget deficit and government borrowing when implemented. Committee noted that this was too little to close the gap in government finances.
The Monetary Committee also noted that the continuous global trade tensions is responsible for the slow economic growth witnessed both locally and internationally. In Abuja, I'm Chimobi Walter Naji.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has again expressed its commitment to unlocking the growth and employment potentials of Nigeria as a panacea for the economic challenges facing the nation. Governor of the bank, Godwin Emefiele, at a meeting with the Nigerian Governors Forum in Abuja said the bank's initiative to enhance agricultural development also aims at improving capacity of industries and conserve foreign exchange, which has taken new dimensions. Leah Katum Baba today completes the report.
The diversification of Nigeria's economy is no small feat, as developmental demands compete for scarce resources available, one of which is meeting up with wage bills. In real terms, the non-oil sector contributed 91.18% to the nation's GDP in the second quarter of 2019, but oil revenue is still king. Following President Buhari's directive on conserving forex, the Apex Bank has identified 10 key commodities as crucial enterprises to be developed along the value chain to achieve the desired goals.
Delivering food from farm to market has been a biggest problem. Close to about 50 to 60% of all agricultural output get destroyed before they move from farm to market.
The CBN has an ultimate objective to make states economically viable through enhanced investments by the private sector, which will in turn create more economic opportunities at a subnational level, engage youth in meaningful enterprises, and improve internally generated revenue base for states to meet the developmental expectations of their citizens. This is in addition to the Anchor Borrowers Program.
Let's attract credible domestic or foreign investors in the state who themselves have capacity to source finance.
We will cooperate, we will work with you, we will make sure that that dream you have of industrializing the states is achieved.
The governors came along with a wish list. Power supply and other critical infrastructure sit high on it.
I want to employ you. Since your policy and drive is working in agriculture, the next step you must give attention is energy.
Nigeria spends about $1.5 billion yearly on the importation of daily products alone. In Abuja, Leah Katung Babatunde, NTA News.
The Progressives Governors Forum has developed a template that will fast-track good governance and development in the country. To this effect, a governance steering committee has been unveiled as part of efforts to actualize the progressive agenda. Saliu Abdullahi reports.
The Progressives Governors Forum has acknowledged that the next level agenda has a lot to offer to Nigerians in line with its campaign promises, and members of the Progressives family, especially the governors, are identified as key to achieve these. For this reason, a strategy has been unveiled to boost and ensure efficient interstate project performance evaluation across states that are governed by the APC. The Progressives Governance Steering Committee is led by Governor Abubakar Badar of Jigawa and Simon Lalong of Plateau States.
Issues of free education and education in totality will be looked at, and I believe most of us will agree with each other when it comes to agreeing on the standard policy to use across APC states. The progressive government have done very well when we look at the history where we come from.
In addition, the committee, he notes, will embark on a peer review of activities of their government for possible improvement in affected states. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
A 40-bed space social rehabilitation center renovated and furnished at the instance of the Northern Governors' Wives Forum has been inaugurated in Minna, Niger State. This formed part of activities lined up for the forum's quarterly meeting held in Minna. Fatima Usman reports that Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State presided over the inauguration of the social rehabilitation center.
The Northern Governors' Wives had embarked on advocacy against drug and substance abuse in the last 4 years to reverse the trend of consumption of psychoactive substances, whose 2018 survey puts prevalence rate at 14.4% in Nigeria, with 10% of the abusers in the North Central Zone. The renovation of the dilapidated social rehabilitation center in Minna follows that of Kogi and Sokoto states in fulfillment of the resolution of the forum towards ending the scourge.
As mothers, the NGWF is willing and ready to contribute its own quota in fighting this menace, as no nation will progress if its most productive age group, who are potential leaders of tomorrow, are affected by drug abuse.
Equipped with vocational skills acquisition rooms, gymnasium, and indoor sporting facilities to meet up with best practices for rehabilitating drug addicts. An ICT center equipped by the forum at the rehabilitation center was also inaugurated for use.
The need to build some of these centers in Bida, Kontogora, Suleja, and probably New Busa is pertinent.
A 4-point communique issued at the end of the forum's quarterly meeting, however, charged women to redouble efforts in the moral upbringing of their children as a step towards curbing social vices in Minna. Fatima Usman, NTA News.
And now to the judiciary. Presidential candidate of the PDP in the February presidential election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar says he is heading to the Supreme Court to challenge his laws at the Presidential Appeal Tribunal. In a statement he personally signed, Atiku said he is approaching the Supreme Court so as to ensure that the votes of the electorate count. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned a former Director of Legal Services in the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Grace Tiger, in connection to the Process and Industrial Development British Virgin Islands scandal on an 8-count charge bordering on abuse of office and criminal breach of public trust. The defendant, who pleaded not guilty to all the 8-count charge, applied for bail through her counsel to enable her access medical care. But this was objected to by the prosecution counsel. The presiding judge, Justice Ola Kayode Adeni, after hearing both parties, ordered that the defendant be remanded in Suleja prison custody.
The company has been convicted, but do not forget that the circumstances that led to the conviction of the company, that's the signing of the gas supply and processing agreement, is not related just to the company. It was signed by the government of Nigeria with the company's P&ID. And it's also necessary that the process of justice should run its course. We would be filing charges against officials of the government of Nigeria that are involved in this matter. A significant number of the people involved that created this problem, most of them are deceased, but I can assure you that those of them that are alive, we will continue to file charges against them.
As it is with the court process, because the charge was served on her only in the evening yesterday, and an amended charge in court this morning, so the proper application for bail, the prosecutor having admitted, having indicated that they are going to oppose bail, the proper thing is for them to show cause why she should not be granted bail. And they can only do that by means of affidavit evidence.
The case has been adjourned to the 25th of September for hearing on the bail application. We now join Jennifer in our Lagos studio for more reports. Hello, Jennifer. It's good to see you.
Way of addressing the global challenge of plastic packaging waste, Nestle Nigeria has signed a memorandum of understanding with Recycler to accelerate the process of recovering and recycling post-consumption plastic packaging waste in Lagos State. Ruth Ario Samuel reports.
This signifies the beginning of a recycling partnership between one of Nigeria's foremost food and beverage manufacturers, Nestle, and Recyclers, a social enterprise targeted at low-income communities to get value from their waste. Managing Director, Nestle Nigeria, Mauricio Alarcon, said tackling plastic pollution is an urgent priority which requires multi-sectoral collaboration.
But this is not the only thing. We also have partnership in what is called the Food and Beverage Recycling Alliance to be able to continue to find ways together with other industry players in terms of collection of the plastic waste today in Nigeria.
We source from the environment and make sure that we protect the environment. For us, this partnership will help us to work towards our purpose and our objective of building a sustainable environment.
Olawale Adebi, CEO Recyclers, said the partnership will address the damage done to the nation's marine ecosystem.
We've removed over 400 tons of recyclable waste that would have been in the gutter or in the ocean. So we see this as another opportunity to do the same and even more.
Aside tackling the plastic menace, the partnership will create 40 direct jobs while empowering 15,000 Nigerians. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
Away from the environment, the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria says never again will any individual subvert the wish and aspirations of members of the association to assume power forcefully. The new acting national president, Musa Mohammed, said this while assuming office in Lagos. Michael Olaleye reports.
If in the absence of my president which they elect us together, Alhaji Musa Shehu Isewole, definitely I'm the acting national president according to this constitution.
The new acting national president said his emergence is in accordance with the provision of the association's constitution and a reflection of the power embedded in the collective will of the members to institutionalize a change beneficial to the association. He said no individual has the power to unilaterally take any decision without the mandatory two-thirds majority of the national executive members.
This is our power. I will ask all the members throughout the nation, all the zonal chairmen, they should go back and implement their rights. Today, all my zonal chairmen, they can go back to their zones and coordinate their zone according to the constitution of the.
The new acting National Secretary General, Harry Ejiofor, was optimistic that the new path to greatness, which has been strategically mapped out by the Musa Muhammad-led administration, will deliver greater incentives for members, adding that democracy is being entrenched by this giant stride.
We must bring the association back. What we are doing today is giving back the association to the owners of the association. No more by force, no more because I know so and so person.
The 28 National Executive Council members who ratified the dismissal of Erio were in attendance. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Network News continues after the commercial break. Stay with us.
Darling, what's the matter? It's your birthday. Guests are already waiting at the pool.
It's headache, cold, pains all over my body.
Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet contains powerful ingredients specially prepared to bring you fast relief from headache, body ache, cough, flu, cold, and fever. Baby, how are you feeling now?
Wow, I feel great thanks to Cold Time Tablet.
Cold Time Tablet also available in syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, a quality product from Embassy Pharmaceutical and Chemicals Limited. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, your visa to healthy living.
Hey you! And are you how to talk to? I sabi you now. It's in day your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Babatoro Sanshangalo, Ogalekuva, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We Sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for all Serie A and La Liga matches live. Go for GoTV Max.
Mommy is ready to receive me a bundle of joy. Mommy is making my home cleaner and safer. We are Dettol sure. Daddy is home. He must be germ-free. He needs to be Dettol sure. My clothes are so nice. We are Dettol sure.
Illnesses can happen at home too. That's why Dettol and me together will make my baby's home safe and to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs. That's why moms want to be Dettol sure.
We are Dettol sure.
You are watching NTA Network News. Now, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, has signed $1.06 million grant agreement with the United States Trade and Development Agency. The fund will be used to execute solar-powered mini-grid projects in the AEDC catchment area. Mayor Ogidi reports.
A very busy structure at the heart of Abuja, literally dictating the mood of close to 1 million households in the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, Kogi and Niger states, because this is where electricity is being distributed, the AEDC headquarters. Installation of prepaid meters going on in their hundreds, and electricity supply adjusts to be okay.
The power supply in this area is a bit stable now.
This is a testimony from those residing at the city center. So I visited Durumi, a suburb of Abuja, but regrettably, people that are expected to be stakeholders in the electricity market clearly have no stake to hold, not even a 1.5 mm cable wire crossing their roofs.
Even my village is not light.
As the cry for electricity going on in Durumi community, handshakes and smiles going on elsewhere in Abuja, signaling the end of tears for 1,370 communities not connected to national grid in 6 months' time from now, as the United States Trade and Development Agency offers $1.06 million, that is 360 million naira grant to AEDC to provide off-grid solar-powered system for this strata of the society.
The grant will facilitate some feasibility studies so that we can package these areas, rural areas, mostly into bankable, projects to accelerate electrification by rolling out isolated grids that are supplying power.
So Nigeria is a natural fit. It's actually our largest portfolio in sub-Saharan Africa for very good reason, because of the strength of our partnerships and the demand of U.S. industry.
AEDC is also collaborating with the Rural Electrification Agency in Nigeria to get more renewable energy projects in its catchment area. It is a war against energy poverty in Nigeria. Mie Ogidi, NT News.
As part of strategies to develop a roadmap for its operations, delegation from the Northeast Development Commission, led by its chairman, Major General Paul Tarfa retired, was in Yobe State and met with Governor Mai Mala Buni, who advocated for the Commission's intervention in education, agricultural development, youth empowerment and road construction in insurgency worst-hit areas in the state. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
The Northeast Development Commission, which was inaugurated in May this year, was created to, among other things, provide necessary support and interventions to the people of the sub-region who in the last 10 years experienced hardship as a result of Boko Haram insurgency. Delegation of the commission, led by its chairman, Major General Paul Tarver retired, was in Yobe State to identify areas for interventions as well as map out strategies on how best to approach the situation at hand.
And we are keen and ready to key into the projects which will be integrated into the Commission's master plan.
Governor Mai Mala Buni commended President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Assembly for their commitment and purpose in the establishment of the Northeast Development Commission. The governor advocated for prioritization of interventions by the Commission in the areas of education, agricultural development, youth empowerment and road construction in worst-hit areas in the state to accelerate development.
We need you to rebuild our classrooms that have been destroyed by Boko Haram and provide our students with access to new learning facilities.
The Northeast Development Commission was created by an Act of Parliament and its bill signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 26th of October 2017. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
For more news from that zone, Naomi is standing by in Maiduguri with more reports. Naomi?
Thank you, Jimmy, and welcome to Maiduguri. Borno State government has reiterated commitment to prompt payment of counterparts funding towards eradicating polio in the state. Governor Babagana Umara gave the assurance during a meeting with a delegation from Bill and Melinda Gates and Dangote Foundations at the Government House, Maiduguri. Muhammad Guni reports.
The Bill and Melinda Gates, as well as Dangote Foundations, have been making sustained efforts towards eradicating poliomyelitis in Borno and other parts of the country. Towards this end, system strengthening efforts have been evolved over the years with the aim of improving primary health care. Periodic teleconferences are being held between the foundations and the state government to review progress, while the efforts of the state government has been reportedly described as impressive. The foundation further lauded the present administration for including health care in the 10-point development agenda. During the meeting with the two foundations, Governor Babagana Umara stressed the importance of counterpart funding in enhancing enlightenment campaign for effective immunization to accessible areas.
We are using this opportunity to develop our local talents and use local experts from Borno State. We need Gates Foundation to support us to expand this, which will help us in tracking progress and decision-making towards the SDGs.
The governor announced that a bill on national health insurance scheme will be presented to the State Assembly for passage, adding that the present administration will do everything possible to bring healthcare delivery services to the doorsteps of the citizens. In Maiduguri, Mohamed Goni, NTA News.
Borno State Ministry of Education has received winner of this year's World Quranic Recitation Competition held in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, Idris Abubakar Muhammad. Abubakar Muhammad Musa reports.
That was Idris Abubakar Muhammad, who emerged overall winner at this year's Quranic recitation, having defeated 192 contenders from different countries around the world. Receiving the winner alongside some erudite Islamic scholars and personalities, Borno State Commissioner for Education Bello Ayuba congratulated Idris Abubakar for making Nigeria and Borno State proud, noting that the state has not won such a competition in recent years. The commissioner assured that the ministry will continue to support both Islamic and Western education towards the overall development of Borno and the country at large.
It's a credit not only to the ministry, but to the entire people of Borno State, and it is a pride to the country at large.
Secretary General Borno State Council for Quranic Education Sheikh Tijani Umara said Idris Abubakar defeated 3,872 contestants in Nigeria before qualifying for the final Quranic recitation tournament in Saudi Arabia. The overall world winner of this year's Quranic recitation competition is Shua Arab by tribe from Borno State and a student of Goni Idris Model Quranic School, Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Jimai is back to you in Abuja.
Chinyomi, everybody with opportunity to serve must see it as a trust that must not be betrayed. This is one of the take-homes for Nigerian civil servants as they begin the celebration of 2019 Civil Service Week. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday was at the National Mosque Abuja where the one-week event kick-started.
The Nigerian Civil Service, an engine room of government as it is popularly referred to. Every year, 1 week is set aside by the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation to celebrate the workforce. The 2019 edition began with a special Jumat prayer. Chief Imam Ibrahim Makari led the congregation through special prayers for the service and the nation at large. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Health, was nominated to lead the Muslim faithful as they prayed for more wisdom towards efficient service delivery to Nigerians.
The job that we are doing is a trust from the government. And so religion, in a way, will guide in ensuring that this trust is as much as possible kept to the maximum.
Abubakar Sadiq Yusuf, a retired civil servant, now Chief Imam in Kwara State, was part of the celebration.
Behave with the fear of Allah and give fair treatments to whatever they are entrusted on.
We also sought the counsel of the Chief Imam for Nigerian workers.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to strengthen our civil servants to deliver in the trust that the nation bestowed on them.
Sporting activities, medical checkup, and interdenominational church service are some of the lined-up activities for the week. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
In recent times, the NYSC has been faced with the challenge of fake youth corps members infiltrating some orientation camps, and as the scheme prepares for 2019 Batch C orientation course, the management of the NYSC visited the management of the NTA in Abuja to solicit the collaboration of the largest television network in Africa. Olaika Ojo reports.
The increasing number of prospective youth corps members produced by some tertiary institutions within and outside the country yearly has in a way led to the challenge of fake corps members trying to maneuver their way into the NYSC one-year program illegally. And this is one thing the NYSC management frowns at. It is in a bid to fashion out better ways of addressing this anomaly through the media, as well as seek collaboration with the NTA to inform, enlighten, and educate the public to better understand the workings of the scheme for effective service delivery, that the Director General of the NYSC and his management visited the NTA management.
About taking over, I observed that in terms of awareness, most people don't seem to understand the workings of the NYSC, and there's a need for us to sensitize the public.
Aside football as a unifying factor in Nigeria, another thing that unifies young educated graduates in the country is the more than 46 years old scheme. This is because participants of the program are not based on class, course of study, institution, gender, or ethnicity. Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, said NTA remains committed to the Nigerian project of youth and economic development.
We in NTA, are doing a job that is part of our mandate, and will continue to support you within the limits of our own constraints.
The Nigerian Television Authority is the first media establishment. The 18th Chief Executive of the NYSC is visiting on assumption in office 4 months ago. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
We'll now pause for more messages. Don't go away. Do stay.
You! And now you are to talk to. I sabi you now. It's in your mind, Abi. The person will then go help us. Baba Torosa, Shangalo, Ogalekuva, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one. A spear into the top corner. We Sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for all Serie A and La Liga matches live. Go for GoTV Max.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, did you hear that?
Of course I did. That is Village El Master tune.
So, Auntie Amebo was not gossiping then?
Village El Master is celebrating 50 years.
50? Already? This is not a joke.
It is a national celebration. NTA and Village El Master family are commemorating 50 years.
Hey, please, tell me, when is our Golden Jubilee?
It is from the 8th to 11th of October, 2019.
I have to go and get ready. It's time to party.
Women. But we, men, will be there too.
You're welcome back. Athletics Federation of Nigeria names athletes and officials for 2019 IAAF World Championship in Doha, Qatar. Ayodeji Makinde is our guide on Sports Update.
The Athletics Federation of Nigeria has released a list of 26 athletes and 6 coaches for the IAAF World Athletics Championships holding from September 27 to October 6 in Doha, Qatar. 11 women and 15 men, including African 100 meters men's champion Raymond Ekewo and 100 meters hurdles champion Oluwato Biloba Amuson, will lead the country's quest for glory in the Middle East as they compete in sprints, middle distance, long jump, shot put, discus, and the relays. Reactions have continued to trail FIBA latest ranking, in which Nigeria moved up 10 places to the 23rd position in the world. Nigeria's D-Tigers, who became the first country in Africa to qualify for the World Cup, won 3 games and lost 2 during the competition to finish 17th out of the 32 participating teams.
I'm really very excited. I'm very proud of D-Tigers, even D-Tigers as well. I'm very proud of what basketball is doing currently. No matter the challenges they are having and all of that, I think they are doing a great job, and I wish and I hope that they will continue with that.
Nigerian wrestler Odunayo Adekworoye says with continued support from Nigerians, she will surprise many in next year's Tokyo Olympic Games. Adekworoye picked up a ticket to represent Nigeria in the wrestling event of the Olympic Games at the ongoing 2019 Senior World Wrestling Championships in Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan.
I'm so very happy. I'm very glad.
I expected more than this, but I really want to appreciate God. I settled for bronze, and I believe it's one of the preparation for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
The World Championships end Sunday. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde NTA News.
Nigerians have been urged to uphold true values and make positive impacts that will be written in the sands of time. These were the words of Directors General under the Ministry of Information and Culture during a condolence visit to the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, whose wife Tina Okechukwu passed on recently. Elizabeth Omori reports that the Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, led the team of Directors General of NBC, NOAA and NCAC on the condolence visit.
On arrival to the residence of the Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, family and friends expressed shock over the death of a woman whom they described as an epitome of love and humility, late Tina Okechukwu. Late Tina Okechukwu, who would have been 57 come October 2019, hailed from Eke Udi, local government area of Enugu State. She passed on at about 3:33 a.m. Friday, 20th of September 2019. Her family says she built a home where relatives and those who came in contact with her felt warm and loved through her virtues.
She's my organizer, so I miss her on daily basis, minute by minute.
The Director General, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, on behalf of the Directors General from NCAC, NOA and NBC, encouraged their family at this trying time.
Most of us left behind. I'm not left behind because we are late. It's just time. Once it's time, it happens.
One of her last media outings was an interview with Daily Trust, where she extolled the doggedness of a beloved husband, whom she was married to for 30 years. Details of her funeral rites will be announced in due course by the family. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Now let's take a look at weather prospect for Saturday. That's it on NTA Network News tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Juma Yusuf.